I'm Ina Lisa. Welcome to my channel, and I'm so glad you're here. Today's video is an open collaboration, and the name of it is hashtag Budget Meals Under $5. That's right, Budget Meals Under $5. And our hostess is Brenda at Maniac Grammy's Homestead. So be sure if you want to upload a video, you're more than welcome. Brenda would love to have you. Just be sure you hashtag it and hashtag Brenda. Now today's video, I'm going to be doing a recipe that my mother used to make. My mother was the youngest of 18 children, and she wasn't much of a cook. Being the youngest of 18, she didn't have to cook. And her specialties were like spaghetti. She could make homemade biscuits and fried bread. And that's what we're going to be doing today, is making fried bread. And this is a list of the ingredients you're going to need. 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of water, 1 egg. You need black-eyed peas, 1 can of black-eyed peas, or the bean of your choice, or peas of your choice, and 1 egg, which, and I'll give you a list of the prices of these things. And if you want to add a veggie, that's optional. Now, this meal didn't cost me anything because I already had these things in my pantry or my freezer or refrigerator, so I already had these things. And many of you probably have these same exact things, so you wouldn't really need to buy anything either. All right, so you can get flour, the self-rising flour, at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. You could get rice there for $1.25. The black-eyed peas, I'm not sure about, but I had got mine at Walmart, and they were $1.36. The eggs, you can get a 6 count of eggs at Walmart for $1.32. And so then if you just use 1 egg, that'd be what, like 22 cents? All right, and then the veggie, you can get the veggie for $1.25. Now, if you add up all those things, it's $5.18 without the veggie, if you had to buy each individual thing. So that would put you at your limit. You can't have the veggie then, unless you have one at home. But, all right, so what you do is, I'll show you in the video what you're going to be doing of how to make it, but I just wanted to tell you the portions that you'll be using. You need 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of water, 1 egg, and you mix it up, and that's what you need. Now, the black-eyed peas, as I got from Walmart, I got a can of them. My youngest daughter, she doesn't like black-eyed peas, so when she was little, I would use, make black-eyed peas for the rest of us, and I would make her baked beans, a can of baked beans. Now, you can use anything. My mother used to have pinto beans and fried bread. We didn't have anything else, just those 2 things. And as I grew up myself, I said, well, I love pinto beans, but I'd rather have them as refried beans. I love refried beans. But when I grew up, I decided to use black-eyed peas because I love black-eyed peas. So you can use whatever you love. All right. So that, let's see. Just let me look at my cheat sheet to see what you need to do. I wrote it so small now I can't read it. All right. Just make sure that you, when you add the 1 cup of water, it took exactly 1 cup yesterday when I did the video that I'm going to be showing you. And I measured it, because I usually don't measure, I usually eyeball it, but since I was doing this video, I measured it just for y'all. So be sure that, you can add, you should have the consistency like, cake batter, but a little bit thinner. So, but add just a little bit of water, and then you make your first fried bread, and then your second. Those are probably your 2 test tries. And then you can taste it in between and see, how you need to critique it, whether you need it thinner or you need a little bit thicker. If you need a little bit thicker, of course you can add just a little bit, sifted, or just lightly put in some flour, and then stir it up and make sure it's blended well so it doesn't get lumpy. All right, those are the things that you need for this fried bread, and I hope you enjoy this video. All right, let's see what I did. Okay, I'm going to make fried bread. I usually don't measure it, so I got out the ingredients, so we'll see how this works. All right, so we're going to put a cup of flour in there, and we're going to put an egg I have one egg there just to show an egg, but I went ahead and took it and broke it because I don't like to chance getting it some of the eggshell in there. All right, and we're going to put some water. Now I've got 2 cups of water here. I'm not sure exactly how much water it's going to take. We're going to pour a little bit at a time because I usually don't measure, I just eyeball it. But this is what my mother used to make. My brother was a type 1 diabetic, so we did not have sweets, or we had bread. She made homemade biscuits and stuff, but we didn't have them every night or anything like that. But she made this fried bread. Now, it's similar to a pancake, except for it doesn't get brown like the pancake does, because it looks more, it's really a lighter color. Now, when I was growing up, it did dual duty. It was pancake in the morning, and it was fried bread for dinner. But me and my brother, we weren't big on vegetables, so my mother had it. She had it with pinto beans, and we had fried bread. That's all. Well, I like pinto beans, but if I'm going to eat pinto beans, I like them refried beans better. However, as I got older, instead of making the pinto beans, as I got older, I used black-eyed peas because I like black-eyed peas better. But, you know, you can use whatever bean you want. All right, and I put it over rice. And we used to make it when my kids were little. You know, we had 4 children. And come payday, when they were real small, yep, we would have fried bread, rice, and black-eyed peas. Now, my youngest daughter, she doesn't like black-eyed peas, so I would make her a can of baked beans, and that's what she would have. But I think this is a consistency I want it. Let's see. I do it with a fork. You could do it with a whisk. I got a whisk out, just, you know. But I like doing it better with the fork. And you see it's kind of a soupy consistency a little bit. You don't want it to be, I'm going to take this whisk so you can see it. It's kind of a soupy consistency. It's not, it's thick, but it's not, it's a little bit thinner than cake batter. Let's go with that. All right, it is hot. We are going to put, you have to make sure it's good and hot. We're going to put it in there. To make the first one, I always do just a little bit so that you can see the consistency of it, to see if it's too thin, too thick. And we're looking for bubbles. See the bubbles starting to form? Those holes right there, right here, right there, those holes. That's what you're looking for. So you're going to get, and you get bubbling over here. The whole thing will start to bubble. All right, we're going to flip it. And anytime you're dealing with grease, of course, when you flip it, you're going to be careful not to splatter it on you. Now this one is a little dunner than I like them, but I do like them sometimes like this. But, you know, it just depends on how you want your fried bread. I do like them a little bit crispy, and then other times I don't want them crispy. But I think today I will kind of like it crispy. All right, and that is the fried bread. And that's all you do. Now we'll do another one. And you have to stand here and watch it. You cannot walk away from this, of course, because you're dealing with grease, you know. And it is done on the other side. So we'll put it right there. And let me see if I can get it. Put in another one. And you can make them as big and as small as you want them. Now, when my kids were little, it's so funny. When my kids were little, they would come in, they would look like different shapes. Like this one could look like a stingray with a little tail or whatever, or whatever it looked like, that's what I said it was. And they thought that I made them into certain shapes. Sometimes they would look like a fish, sometimes, you know, whatever shape they look like, that's what I told my kids they were. And they would say, oh, can you make me of this, and can you make me of that? So, all right, that's how you make fried bread. All right, y'all, I just want to hop on here and tell you that sometimes it does not bubble up on the top when you have it in the frying pan. So you just have to look up underneath, like you would just pancakes or anything that you're cooking, to see how it's cooking, and go by that. So, you know, the bubbling up, sometimes it will bubble up depending on how high you have your heat. I have mine on 6, but on my stove, it cooks really, really hot no matter what temperature you got it on. All right, now I poured it in there, and I used a measuring cup. Any measuring cup, I just used a small one so that I could get out small amounts. All right, and make sure that you keep oil in the pan, a little bit of oil in the pan so it doesn't stick, or it doesn't, you know, get too done on there. I'm back. All right, so it hasn't bubbled up, but it is getting brown on the bottom, so I flipped it. So just kind of judge it by that. Just get it the color that you want it, whether you want it darker or whether you want it lighter. All right. Yum, yum. Dinner is served. We have a bed of rice, and I just separate it in the center and pour the black-eyed peas inside. It is so good, y'all. Now, if you're doing a $5 meal, if you had to buy all the ingredients, you probably have to leave the broccoli off, because it'd make it $1.25 more. However, I had all the ingredients, so I didn't have to buy anything. It's just staples I keep in my pantry. But try the fried bread, and then let me know how you like it. Or does your family have something similar to fried bread? Maybe you have the same recipe or a different recipe. Let me know in the comments. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to like it and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it, and you'll be notified every time I put up a video. All right, y'all. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.